told me that I never really paid attention to before was when Pac was going through the whole East Coast West Coast beef.
Mm-hmm.
Afeni pulled him aside and said, "You know, this is the same thing that the Black Panthers went through with COINTELPRO. That COINTELPRO literally, and
Huh?
me and Billy talked about this, and I'd heard about this a lot,
Mm.
that there was East Coast Panthers and there was West Coast Panthers, right?
Right.
And the government had paid informants that were in the middle of it, and they were taking their mail and mixing it up and so forth, and basically threatening each other and saying, yeah, when I see you, I'm going to kill you. It's on site and so forth. So by the time that they would beat up, they thought that there was a whole beef going on, which was really orchestrated by the government.
Yo, that's
Yes, I heard
crazy.
about that. Yeah.
This is a real thing. This is
Yeah,
not
yeah.
conspiracy theory. The papers really came out, and people really testified on this on the stand. And Afeni was basically telling Pot, "You're going through the same thing we already went through." And according
What the hell? Like, no, what? Yo, what's going on? So history really repeats itself. It's like, hold on, time out. Like, this is new information to me. So they did Pac like they did the Black Panthers and stuff like that with this East Coast, West Coast type of beef. Like, yo, this is crazy. Like, yo, it's crazy how they just don't want to see a certain type of person or a certain type of ethnic group or anything succeed in the world, or they feel like they're the biggest threat to America or something like that. Yo, this just blew minds just now, and you gotta watch out because they be getting people that look like us to be informants, and they be just gladly whatever they got a case or whatever they got, they just be gladly just to be a punk rat. I don't.
to Billy and so
That's
forth,
crazy.
that's when Pac started thinking like, okay, I got to stop this. I'm literally repeating history again, and so forth. I mean, was there near the end? Was Pac really having conversations about I got to stop this? You know, I have friends on the East Coast. I know there's the One Nation album and so forth, but was he really trying to like really squash it?
He really was. The reason why he was doing the One Nation album because he wanted to show that it wasn't an East Coast West Coast beef. And I heard Pac out of his own mouth, my ear, saying that he don't really want nothing bad to happen to Biggie.
So this is some craziness because at the end of the day, they pretty much set up Pac like they did the Panthers. That's what it sounded like. Because if it wasn't for this so-called, excuse me, East Coast, West Coast beef, Pac would still be alive right now. There wouldn't be no activity in the street. He wouldn't even be on that super militant stuff. Like, yo, the paranoia that came with that type of beef, the things that was going on in his mind. And the thing about it is, Pac was a Gemini. He just had all these things going on in his head because he moved place to place. He never really had a foundation for his personality. Let me be real. Let's be honest. He lived all over, East Coast, West Coast. Like, come on now. He lived all over. And for him to get into this type of position and get tricked out of it, and that's what it sounded like. You know, tricking himself out of it by getting involved with a gang. And also on top of it, these people try to destroy us because they don't like his family roots and they just don't like Pac, period. Just what do y'all think about this, man? Get in the comments. It's Titans from the 9-8. Make sure y'all subscribe and hit that bell button. Alright? It ain't that hard. It's free.com. I'm out.